Yes, people, welcome back to another Offside Trap video. Today I'm joined with Big P and Doc. Big P, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. You? Thought I'd wear my colours tonight after the fantastic win at the weekend.
Doc, how you getting on?
All good, thank you, mate. All good.
Right, let's. I just want us to get straight into it, right? So referees and VAR. I want to focus on referees first, right? For me personally, refereeing has become worse. I feel like the letters of the law and the booklet in which referees read from now is so muddled, and the confusion between rules, the fans knowing. For me personally, I think it's just the game's gone soft and the game's gone um, in the wrong direction, in my opinion. Pete, what's your thoughts and feelings on refereeing in general?
I generally think that refereeing is absolutely atrocious from the Premier League right down. And I tell you what, I go and watch some non-league football, and yeah, refereeing is shocking. Now, I think that this is because the rules are being changed every single year. 1 minute a handball is a handball, next minute it has to touch your arm in a certain place. VAR is probably a confidence thing in my eyes. If they get a decision wrong, it must play on their confidence. Ultimately, that gives them a wrong decision. I just generally don't know how, and where they can improve and how they're going to improve. Now, ultimately, you have to go back to basics. If your football team's losing week in, week out, you go back to basics, no? And this is what needs to happen with referees. Stop changing the rules every 5 minutes and let referees be referees.
Doc, what's your thoughts on this with refereeing in general? Obviously, I believe you are a referee, right? Or
I am a referee, yes. Not that I do it for a livelihood, not that I do it, to earn money, hypothetically. At the moment, I'm just refereeing at the club that I'm associated with. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting thing because both of you just touched on two aspects that I think is the root of the problem, and it's not the referees. So, Bill, you just touched on is the game getting soft, and then P, you just touched on VAR and making the game a little bit more streamlined for the referees. Right now, this is the thing for me. I'm not going to sit here and say that I think the referees are the best refs in the world, and I'm not going to sit here and say that the referees are getting things right. What I am going to say is for me, it's the streamline of the rules that is causing the problems. I think that if the rules were a lot more transparent, a lot more clear, and a lot more easy to get a right or wrong answer, then I think referees will be able to get the right or wrong answer a lot more. I think a lot of these rules are coming into play where like one of the ones that we spoke about earlier, Bill, where a lot of rules are giving refs leeway to interpretate the rule how they see fit. Now, if you're giving a referee the opportunity to interpretate the rule on how they see fit, then no one can say the referee is wrong if that's the referee's interpretation. So for me, it's more about, like you said, football going back to football where it isn't so soft, where you can put in a tackle and you can, you can have a contact sport the way that we know it. And then it's also streamlining these rules so that the referees know what is expected of them and when to make these calls.
Look, me personally, right? You go on Saturday, you've got Nottingham Forest v Liverpool. Look at the referee decision in that game. Now, Forest are on the attack. Liverpool player down in the box. The referee stops the game. And when he restarts it with Liverpool ultimately going up the other end and scoring a goal because the drop ball's gone to Liverpool. That is atrocious refereeing. Now, if Forest go down by 2 points, who are they going to blame?
When you give certain examples, yes, I totally agree. Referees are making mistakes. I do believe that referees are making mistakes. However, I think referees have always made mistakes. I think that's the point here with regards to the fact that nothing's different. It's just highlighted in a different way now. Like VAR's there intercepting the decision. I just feel like all these things need to be worked on where everyone is singing from the same hymn sheet, i.e. VAR is doing the right things, the referees are doing the right things. And I just think that until it all comes together at the moment, it's all a bit hit and miss with, like I said, referees having to interpretate things how they see fit, VAR interpreting things how they see fit. And we're not using the tools that are available to us to make it what we all want to see, the right calls being made.
But the problem is, right, and I say this all the time, is you go into your workplace and you've got two managers, your two managers don't manage the same way. And it's the same for referees. They don't referee the same way because they have different interpretations. Now, if I lunge in and I win the ball cleanly, one referee might say, that's a fine, that's a great tackle, carry on. But the next referee will book me. Do you know what I mean? Because I've lunged into a tackle. Although I've won the ball, the second referee might say, well, the follow through. Do you know what I mean? How do you pull out of a follow through? You can't. It's impossible. We've all played the game.
Yeah.
We've all played the game. How you can't pull out of a follow through. If it's a wet pitch and you hit a sliding tackle, you cannot pull out of a follow through. Do you know what I mean?
I think with refereeing, right, it is an interpretation thing which becomes the issue. Like I've played Sunday League, and there's been one game where we know the referee is a bit more lenient when it comes to tackles and things. So our manager tells us to get stuck in, get physical with them. But then the next week, I'll do the same thing. I'm on a yellow card within 5 minutes of the game for doing the exact same thing I'd do last Sunday. And I think that's the inconsistency that gets confused between the fans and the players. In my opinion, I think that like there should be, with refs, there should be a rule book that should be set, and then that's that. I don't think there should be a thing which we will get onto in a minute with the Bellingham situation that happened over the weekend. But yeah, I think especially with the refs rule books and how they learn it shouldn't be an interpretation thing. I think it should genuinely be, this is what happens when this happens, this is what happens when that happens. You either stop play there or start play there. Doc, can it be that simple?
I believe it can be. I believe it can be made a lot more transparent, where the rules are there, set in stone, where everyone abides by the rules, as opposed to the interpretation. I think all the while that we are asking for interpretations of rules, you will never ever have consistency, because you can't get consistency with that form. You know, like you just said, if we all sat here and talked about our interpretation of a bad tackle, we would have 3 different opinions. So if we were 3 refs, one of us wouldn't necessarily give a yellow card and the other 2 would. But what my point is that doesn't make the referee wrong. And this is why I don't like the concept of it's the ref's fault, it's the ref, blame the ref, demote the ref. Because if the referee is interpreting that how he sees fit, then you can't hold him accountable for his interpretation of it. It's the hierarchy, it's the way he's being asked to officiate the game that's the problem.
Yeah, I think, and I do want to touch upon the Bellingham situation, because I know me and Doc have spoken off screen. I'm not going to say what we said, but P, have you seen the Bellingham situation?
Yeah.
My standpoint on it is absolutely ludicrous that a referee has blown his whistle at that point in time, right? The ball's on the edge of the box. It's about to get crossed in. The ref thought, you know what, nah. In my opinion, which I've always thought was a thing, is you should allow attack to play on, or you should allow the last attack to happen before you just call it quits there. And that's the way I've seen it with that, just in general, really.
Me personally, I think when the time's up, whoever's on the attack, just blow the whistle. It doesn't matter, because in this day and age, the game moves so quickly that the ball ain't going to be in the middle of the field. If you're losing, you're going route 1. Yeah? Let's be honest, you need a goal. You're going route 1. So you're never going to be in the middle of a pitch, because you're going to be bouncing from one end to the other. Now, if you're the defending team, all you're thinking about is getting it up the field. So at what point does a referee blow his whistle?
What I said is
Real Madrid are on the attack. If that means that Real Madrid were on the attack and he blew his whistle because the 94th minute hit, then so be it. And to be fair to him, they weren't in front of goal, were they? He crossed the ball in. So he's out wide. He's out wide.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. The referee is being backed into a corner where whatever decision that referee made on that call, he was going to get crucified from someone. And this is my point. If he blows up the whistle because the time's up, which I believe he should do, then you have the Real Madrid reaction to what they do. If he plays extra time and then Real Madrid score the winner, you have the home fans or the fans of the team that's conceded the goal and the players that conceded it. He then gets confronted when he comes off the pitch from the owners of the club, you know, like we've seen in the Forest one, because they feel that the referees played too long. So how is that fair? How is that fair to have someone make a decision? The only decision he can make is the right decision. So for me personally, if we're playing to 90 minutes and you blow up on 90 minutes, if there's no added on time, then what's your problem? Why is it the referee's getting criticised because Real Madrid have taken an extra minute too long to score a goal? Why is it not Real Madrid haven't scored in the time that's allocated?
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. And as for Bellingham, we don't know what he said to the referee, and we never will know what he said to the referee. But the way he stormed over to that ref, 100% get off the pitch, mate. There you go.
You say we don't know. I have read an article tonight that Real Madrid are going to appeal the red card for two reasons. One, they're going to appeal it for basically all he's allegedly said is it was a effing goal. And what they're saying is that's not actually abusing an official. That is just how English people talk. And therefore, it's not abusive. He's just stating a fact that it was an effing goal. And then the other point that I can't quite remember without checking was something along the lines of, I think it was that, like, you know, the time itself. So they are appealing the decision, and we do allegedly know what he's now said because their defence is he's always said was it is an effing goal.
I mean, that is what English people say, isn't it? Like, let's be real, Pete. You're telling me you've never gone up to a referee and gone, that's an effing goal.
Look, I can't stand referees, and I've called them many worse names in their face than that. But let's be honest, if he's blown the whistle, he's blown the whistle. Because how long do we carry on with this before we start going to rugby and going, do you know what, let's be like rugby. The ball has to leave the field before the referee blows the whistle. Come on, man. Our game ain't about that. It's when the referee blows up, he blows up, that's it. Shake hands and off you go. As Doc just said, otherwise you get things like owners storming on the pitch to confront you. The manager storming on the pitch. 17, 20 players storming on the pitch to confront a referee. Do you know what I mean? Now, in my eyes, what happened at Forest on Saturday, if I was young, I'd be doing the same thing. I've been absolutely robbed. I've been robbed. Whether what he said and how he said it, we don't know. But at that point, you're at boiling point. The only person you can blame is the referee. Now, I know the Forest thing is a lot different to the Real Madrid thing, but ultimately, the referee's made that call. He's blown the whistle. Whether you've scored or not, there's two things you should look at. Was the ball in the back of the net when the whistle went? And two, where was the ball on the pitch when he blew the whistle? Well, we know he was out wide and he was crossing it in, and the ball weren't in the back of the net.
So
had Bellingham put the ball, it left Bellingham's foot, and then he blew the whistle, then that's a different talking point.
So
we're saying that he's shot.
The two games you're talking about, Nottingham Forest and Real Madrid, this is my stance on the two. In the Nottingham Forest game, there is a clear rule where the rule is in black and white on what the referee should have done. The referee in that game has ultimately, for whatever reason, decided to not abide by the rules of the game, because the rules of the game state that if there's a drop ball, you have to give the ball back to the team that was in possession, which was Forest. So because the referee has deliberately not done that, Nottingham Forest are within their rights to feel like they're hard done by, because they are there to abide by the rules.
Yeah.
With regards to the Real Madrid one, it's talking about an interpretation of a ref as to when he blows the final whistle. And that is my issue.
But what I'm saying is if Bellingham shoots and the ball has left his foot or his head and the referee blows a whistle, then you've got an argument. Do you know what I mean? Because Bellingham's actually shot and he's blown the whistle. So now does the goal count or does he rule it out? Do you see what I'm saying? But at this point, Bellingham never got the shot off when the referee blew the whistle.
See, the funny thing is if it was at half time and the referee blew for half time and then a player just took a shot, you know, like as you do because the ball's at your feet and you see an empty goal, or even if it's during the game and a free kick's given and you kick the ball away, you know not to kick the ball away. So at the end of the day, I understand it's in his nature that the ball's about to be crossed, the final whistle's gone, so they finished the play by crossing the ball in and heading it in the goal. I get that. But to claim that the goal should stand is, for me, is ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. Like, excuse me. The game is finished. The time is up. So that's the end of it. You know, you run out of time. You didn't do it quick enough. Maybe not do the extra 10 passes on the halfway line and maybe get the ball forward an extra minute quicker. And then we wouldn't be having this conversation. But it's a you issue, not a league issue. Real Madrid didn't score enough goals in the 95 minutes that they had.
So I'm the opposite of both of you on this. Like, if putting myself in the situation as the referee, I would always give the last attack the benefit of the doubt. In the final third area, if I'm checking my watch and it's like just hit 0 and it's up on the edge but ready to be crossed in, I'm not blowing the whistle because I'm not interrupting the play. It's only when the ball either goes out or gets cleared will I then blow the whistle. Those are the only two.
So listen to this then, yeah? We've got Luton v Man City. This is an example, right? Luton are winning the game 2-1 in the 95th minute, right?
Yeah.
Phil Foden's on the ball on the 18-yard box. It's end of the game.
No, but it's
Luton
not.
win the game 2-1. Just because Man City are on the attack, it doesn't mean they deserve another extra attack because they're on the attack.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is, Bill, is minnows, the littler sides in the league or even in a cup will never get the benefit of the doubt from a referee because that final attack must take place.
Well, no, because...
So then what happens if Phil Foden shoots, right? And it's just an example. Keeper tips it over the bar. Now they've got a corner. So what, you're going to now let that corner play out?
No, because that's what I said. If the ball goes out of play, then it's all done.
But they're still on the attack.
No, they're not. It's a different scenario. It's a different situation.
It's not, because they're still on the attack. You could bring everyone forward and you're in that box.
See, I think you're looking at the wrong point. When you start talking about the keeper makes a save, then I think you're talking about like Bill's going to say, well, that's a different, that's a different phase of play. So therefore, that's where the game finishes. I understand your point, P, with regards to, well, no, because we've got to let the corner take place. And now if he's crossing the ball, we're in the same situation where the ball's in the air. But my example is the opposite to what you just said, P. And this is the example that I hit Bill with earlier. If you're going to let them cross that ball and then the defender heads the ball out, but he only heads it to the edge of the box and there's 3 guys waiting on the edge of the box, are we going to let them get their shot away now? Because ultimately, like, they're still on the attack. They're on the edge of the box. They're still in a goal scoring opportunity. So now they're going to have their shot. So if they have their shot and the keeper saves it and it comes back out, are we going to let the clock carry on going on the off chance that someone might follow it in and score? And now we're going to be playing, if it's a 1 minute of injury time, this phase could take 4 minutes, hypothetically. So now we've gone from 1 minute injury time to actually 5 minutes injury time. If you score in that phase, the defending team is going to be fuming, absolutely fuming.
That's what I'm trying to say. At what point does a referee blow his whistle?
Yeah. And the answer to me to that question is when the time's up. Simple as.
And that is a question for the comments. Everyone watching this video, drop down. When is the right time for the ref to blow his whistle? Should it be let the attack play out? Should it be when the time is up, or what? In my standpoint of it, the ref shouldn't blow. It's down to the defense at that point, right? my opinion of it and my judgment of it is down to whether the defense is going to be able to clear the ball.
Do you know the funny
It's
thing?
up to the defense.
Do you know the funny thing? This is the thing that makes me laugh. Yeah, you see how Bill is obviously campaigning for playing the extra phase and waiting for it. Yeah, these are the same fans that for many years whinged with regards to Fergie time, because they all said that there was too much time added at the end and it gave them an opportunity to score. So which one is it? You know, which one
I've
is
never
it?
claimed against Fergie time.
For me, right, put yourself in this position, yeah? You're in a cup final, so West Ham, Palace, Chelsea. We're in a cup final and you're playing one of the big boys. And as you just said, they get a shot off, you defend it, they get another shot off, but you're in the 96th minute. Bill, if it happens to your team, you're going to be livid that the referee never blew his whistle.
Yes,
And I also can't help but chucking a certain phrase out there that I keep chucking out there at certain fans. To me, you've got the big club mentality. And what I mean by the big club mentality is, I'm a Crystal Palace fan, you're a Chelsea fan. If we're playing against you, as a Crystal Palace fan, I will accept, even now, when you're not very good, you're gonna have more percentage of the ball than us. Yeah. So if you're gonna have more percentage of the ball than us, the chances are you're gonna be in our half more than we're gonna be in your half. Yeah. But playing out this, give them another chance, 8 out of 10 times it happens will be giving the bigger club another chance of scoring. And that, to me, don't work. If I'm the smaller team and I've chucked all my bodies on the line and I've defended for not just the 90 minutes, but I've defended the extra 10 minutes that's been added on VAR, yeah? So I've now defended for 100 minutes. I don't expect the referee to then go, yeah, but Chelsea's on the attack, so I'm going to give them a couple more minutes.
Right, you know what? Doc, let's change it, right? Let's change it. Let's change it. Crystal Palace go to the Etihad against Manchester City. Yeah. You managed to get it to 1-1. Yeah. 90 minutes now. Yeah. 5 minutes added on. It's hit the 5 minutes, and Elise's down the right wing. And I mean, like, on the edge of the box. Are you telling me that you're blowing that whistle and going, nah, Palace ain't even getting that chance? Or are you going, it's Palace's last attack, see what they do with it?
Well, like I said, I just feel like the referee can't win. If the referee lets Palace have that shot and Palace score, Man City fans go, the referee's a Man United fan. He's clearly a Man United fan. He's trying to help. He's trying to help United, you know. And if he blows the whistle, he gets a stick anyway. So for me, just to make it a bit simpler, just to give the refs something to work with, that big round thing that they've got on their wrist called a watch, yeah? We play to a certain time, and when that watch tells you that game is over, you put that thing to your mouth and you blow that whistle. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, but to be fair, Bill, to be fair, if it's 1-0 at the Etihad, I'm sure Doc's happy to walk away with a point.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like, okay, what if you're 1-0 down?
But even so, if I'm 1-0 down, I get the frustration. I get it's frustrating. I don't. Let's be real. There's a big difference between people being frustrated and people being overreactive. So would I be frustrated that we've managed to break the lines and we've managed to get through and we've got a good opportunity and the referee has blown his whistle? Yeah, I'll be frustrated. But I'm a realist. We had 90 minutes to do it. We had the injury time to do it. If it's took us longer than that, then we ain't done our job. We should have done it 5 minutes ago. You know what I mean? I don't think... I just feel like we live in this world, yeah, where there's no point having a referee because the referee could have a really, really good game and get every decision right. But where there's an interpretation, someone's going to interpret his interpretation the wrong way and he's still going to get crucified anyway.
Doc, when was the last time you see a referee have a really good game and get every decision right?
Me on Sunday, mate.
There you go.
Okay, when have you seen a Premier League referee get it right for a whole game?
I honestly think that I'm not going to say that the referees haven't got things right all the time. But when have referees ever got everything right? You know, so it's easy to look at the ones they get wrong, but what about the ones that they get right? With regards to VAR, when VAR disallow a goal because they proved that the goal was disallowed, right? People moan that the goal was disallowed, but if VAR wasn't there, your team would have conceded a goal that they shouldn't have conceded.
Yeah, but that's the talking point, isn't it? Now you go back, I don't know, 10 years. I'm sure we're all old enough to remember. I used to come out of Upton Park fuming because they got a decision wrong, but ultimately it's a talking point, and that's what they're trying to scrap. It's a talking point. Now, for me, VAR, I said it the other day. You look at the cup final. Sterling's one, they draw the line, but Van Dijk's one, there's no line drawn.
But
and there's certain games.
Can I ask you both a question? And I do appreciate, Bill, you wasn't alive, but I know you. I know you know the question. P, I know you was young, but I know, or you might not have even been alive, but I know that you're going to know what we're talking about. You're both familiar with the hand of God.
Yeah.
You all know what happened there.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that referee missed that? Yeah, clearly missed it. Are you telling me if VAR was there, that goal would have been given?
Depends who's in the VAR box, doesn't it? I reckon the referee was Scottish that day.
but again, if that went to VAR and VAR was available then, and that goal was given, then we'd have to give up on VAR altogether and go, I don't understand how they've missed that.
Well, I generally think we should give up on VAR anyway. Because I'm that fed up with it. Just get rid of it. Because you've got a VAR referee, you've got a VAR assistant, and sometimes in the big games, you've got 2 VAR assistants. Now, there's been points this year. You go back to Man United Wolves' first game of the season.
Do you know why you want to get rid of VAR?
The VAR gives the decision as a penalty, but because the assistant says that he was going for the ball and the strikers collided with the goalkeeper, the VAR's listened to him. So hang on a minute. Are you listening to the referee or are you listening to the assistant?
But do you know why you want to get rid of VAR?
Because it's atrocious.
No, not because it's atrocious.
Go on.
Because you want to go back to the old days where you can just blame the referee for a mistake that he makes.
Do you know
you want to be able to go back to you want to be on the terraces where you hear everyone singing the referee's a wanker because
you still hear that. You still hear that.
The thing is, right, what I don't get with VAR, and now this is VAR, and this is the real issue, right? Video assistant referee, right? It is there to assist the referee by videoing stuff and slowing it down, bringing it back. And somehow they have managed to muck it up that much that referees before, you could go, they're humans, they make mistakes. Yes, it's the passion of the game. Yes, we're going to call them wanker and whatever else, right? But they're humans and we understand that they can't see that again. They have to make that judgment. Now they do not have excuses. Now they have got rulers that have lines like that when players are running like that and they're missing stuff.
I've seen lines like that or lines like that. I've never seen a straight line though.
So you've touched on 2 things there. One, you've said that going back to the old days where VAR isn't there and we accept that they're humans, which no football fan ever accepted they were humans and they made a mistake when it happened. Let's be real. They still absolutely crucified him. They all still waited for referees. They still had managers confronting referees. They still had people going into the referee's room. You still had match of the day crucifying the ref as opposed to just accepting the humans made a mistake. So we've never, ever accepted it's a human error and we'll just move on with it. You know, that's never happened. But then you touched on the fact that we've got all these rulers and that. But P's saying he don't want the rulers. P's saying get rid of all these things.
No, because they still don't get the correct decision. Like for me, cup final, right? I still think Nicholas Jackson is onside. Every time I see it, I think he's onside. Because how can they be that precise on what is offside? Now, ultimately, you're still getting wrong answers.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here in my living room watching a big game, and I can tell that he's offside. But you still want to put your red and green line across the screen. Come on, man. If I can see it 100 miles away, surely he can see it, and he's watching the same thing as me.
First of all, he's not watching the same thing as you.
Of course he is. We're watching the same match.
He's watching it from a different angle. He ain't sitting there looking
sorry, he's got 10 different angles and I've got one, but I can still get the correct answer.
Yeah, but I'm not saying
VAR. We're watching the same thing.
I'm not saying VAR is perfect, and I believe VAR is too complicated, and I think that is the problem with VAR. But I am a strong advocate for we need VAR in our game.
When you got cheating referees on Saturdays being stood down and they've been put in VAR, it's even worse.
It is, and I think what I was going to finish my point with is before they didn't have the excuse for VAR, or they didn't have the reason for VAR, right? Now you can stop stuff, you can rewind it, you can zoom in, you can zoom out. You've got 20 different angles of it. You've got so many different things to assist the referees in, which is what VAR stands for and was meant to be. But instead, now all you've got is fans with PTSD not allowing to celebrate until they're 100% sure 5 minutes later because there may have been a foul 20 minutes ago. They've got situations where they're offside by a toenail and that cancels out a goal now. You've got issues with handball where someone's pelted it at you with your hand down by your leg and someone's pelted it at you from 5 yards out and they've given penalties for it. They've had it where...
None of that you've just said is VAR's fault. None of that has got anything to do with VAR. That's the interpretation of the rules that's been brought in, where the rules have been changed. So your points of scrapping VAR, what you're actually saying is it's the rules, not VAR.
Just go back to a linesman, naked eye, gives a decision. Waves his flag.
Can I ask you a question?
Ref, come over. We have a little chat.
What's the worst VAR? What's the worst VAR mistake of this season?
Oh, it's got to be Nana on first game of the season, isn't it?
I think that City Tottenham one where I think it was Haaland got fouled, but he put it over the top. And I think it was Grealish or Foden was through on goal, and the ref blew it back for a free kick, and didn't give the advantage. That's
not VAR.
Or what was the other one? Haaland
Tottenham
again.
Liverpool.
No, it was Tottenham Man City, I think, where Haaland's grabbing the defender in the box, and then Haaland falls over and gets a penalty for it.
Yeah, but so let me explain the angle I'm coming from, and Bill's just touched on it. The ones you're talking about, P, I like the interpretations. The one that Bill just touched on was the Liverpool-Tottenham game, where we know for a fact, and they've proven that the goal shouldn't have been disallowed. Yeah,
should have been disallowed.
Right. So VAR got in trouble for it. Yeah, everyone blamed VAR. Agreed.
Yeah.
But do you know the most ironic thing about that decision?
What?
Linesman had his flag up. Referee blew the whistle and gave offside. So without VAR, goal wouldn't have stood anyway.
Yeah, but then you can go, well, they can't rewind it and see what happens. They can't pause it or zoom in or zoom out or draw their stupid lines.
Yeah, they can.
No, but they couldn't before VAR.
No, but what you just said, like you can accept that the referees made a mistake.
Yeah.
But do football fans accept referees make mistakes?
I'll tell you what.
Of course they don't.
I'll tell you what. Let's just scrap linesmen and we'll deal with VAR. We'll have a referee in the middle. We'll have a full official to hold the ball up, tell you what subs, and that's it. Because we've got VAR is so good that we'll just keep that. What do you need a linesman for?
The problem you've got is to play a game of football, you need official.
Yeah, but what do you need? You need one official.
Right.
One, and that's the man in the middle.
Yeah.
So and what do you need linesman for if you've got VAR?
Well, the short answer is nowadays with VAR, you don't actually need linesmen anymore.
Because they don't give offside because players get injured and then it goes back to VAR and they'll tell you it's offside anyway.
That's a different concept. So
even though he's played 10 minutes extra.
I agree with that. You don't actually need linesmen anymore because the referee should be able to see it. And if the referee misses it, VAR should say that ball went out. No, no goal or whatever. So I agree with that concept. I totally agree with that concept. But that doesn't take away from the referee making a mistake. What my point was is we need officials. And all the while you need an official to officiate a game, it's probably best not to criticise every single thing that they say.
I just think, personally, scrap linesmen, keep the one man in the middle. he's got his walkie-talkie that goes back to wherever they go back to. What was it? Stockley Park. And that's all they need. He can carry on with the game until Stockley Park get back to him and say, "Oh, that's a free kick." It's just ruining the game of football, isn't it? Let's be honest. I'm sorry to say.
So, guys, let us know in the comments before we head off. Let us know in the comments. A, is VAR ruining football? B, should we keep VAR in the Premier League? And C, is refereeing actually getting worse with VAR now being the assistant to it? Don't forget.
And D, sorry, just before Bill finishes the show, and D, is if we get a VAR system that works properly, the best VAR system in the world, which we don't use, would that not be a benefit as opposed to a
tragedy?
Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you are aware when we post. We are live every Saturday at 9 p.m. and we are also posting throughout the week. So make sure to let that notification bell go so then you are aware when we post throughout the week. Doc,
just before you go, Bill, any of the comments that come in on this, are we going to take it to VAR or are we just going to let their comments?
No, we'll let it go. We'll let their comments go. We won't need VAR. Scrap VAR. VAR is gone.
I'll get the linesman to flag it.
Take care, guys. Have a good one. Peace.
All the best.